this episode of Unlock with Me, we're going to unlock your spark through the lens of human design with me, Dena Wiggins, also known as Dena for Your Purpose. So human design is a framework. It's an amazing framework that was downloaded. So someone got a transmission of understanding, and this transmission of understanding linked together 5 different sources of ancient wisdom to come together to be able to understand just that, the human design, the design of a human. And what's central to that design is what a lot of people that have been studying this for some time call it an energetic blueprint. And there's this idea that the energetic blueprint relates to the spark of creation, the spark of all there is, the spark of the universe, the spark of the cosmos that relates us all living beings on this planet that are connected to the planets in the cosmos, that help us to understand each other and our interrelatedness, which is an ongoing story. And so everyone in the human design, we're talking about people, and some people also can apply the human design to framework to pets and animals. It's driven from your date of birth, so all living beings that can relate to a date of birth. And so the difference in how we relate to the spark of all that there is different, and this difference is needed to realize the purpose of the spark and our connection to it. It's really, can you feel that? It's a really juicy story to contemplate and to have your experience with. So when we're thinking about the spark from a human design perspective, all of the energetic blueprints have a connection with the spark and with each other. And this kind of tells the story of how that plays out. So let's start with the manifestors. And if you notice, the manifestors are like in the center and are closest to the spark. And that's for a reason, because one of the purposes of the manifestor energetic blueprint is to be able to communicate these higher understandings that live closest to the spark of all understanding. Right? So they are these amazing translators of information that kind of allow understanding and wisdom to come from one realm and live and serve and purpose another realm. So they're really important. And so I have an icon there in the middle because I think about manifestors as like the keepers of the manifesto. So they get the manifesto, and then their job is to like amplify that. And we'll talk about how their energetic blueprint is kind of designed for that, but it's so juicy. So they don't have the energy, the doing energy of some of the energetic blueprints. It doesn't mean they don't have any, but some, and we're going to talk about that in a second, are like the energizer bunnies or the energetic blueprints, the horses that run in terms of the energetic blueprint. But let's just go there. So when we think about the generators, and there's a little horse icon there, so they're the ones that kind of take the baton from the manifesting generators, or however they're sparked. But the point is that there is an inspiration that leads them to take off, and they have an energetic blueprint that really go. And it's connected to an energy point within our being that is really sourced to manifest that way. So there's this relationship between manifestors and the generators. So the manifestors are providing that understanding. They're providing that it's go time to generators. And generators are most of the people on the planet, about more than a third of us, have that energetic blueprint. By us, I'm saying that I have that too. And then there's the manifesting generators, which are like a combination between the manifester and the generator. And I have a unicorn there because they can fly. They have different modalities. They are so close to the source of understanding, and they can take off. And the thing that they do that's so amazing is that they uncover like all of the shortcuts, all of the ways to do things that are really in flow and really in congruence, but they still have that that connection. To be the most in flow is to be in relationship with divine timing. So understanding when it's time to, take off and run with whatever has been downloaded through them or imparted to them. And then we have the projectors. Reflectors is another one, and we'll get to that one last. But the projectors are the ones that have this amazing insight. They can really attune to and kind of see through all our stuff, and really can give us amazing advice and insight in terms of how we could be in better flow, both within ourselves and with each other. They have an amazing lens for that. And that's really important because with all of these energetic blueprints, they're blueprints. So we may or may not live to the truth of that blueprint. We may or may not work through the stuff that we need to work through, which is a part of our story. So if you think about any amazing movie that you've ever watched that has an antagonist and protagonist and all of that good stuff, and it's once something comes into the protagonist's awareness of like, wow, this is a potentiality that I have, or this is a truth about me that wow, I'm just unlocking for myself. It's a journey to understand what that is, to discover it, to move through the shadow, to be the highest expression of its gift and its light. And so projectors have an amazing purpose to help us to navigate that. But the timing is important because we're waking up to the truths of who we are. We're waking up to the understandings of who we are. And so we want one of the things that is an amazing opportunity for projectors, if that's your energetic blueprint, is like the timing of, really sensing into that and waiting for the invitation. It's almost like they are the keepers of the truth of when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. And so then we have the reflectors, and the reflectors have an amazing purpose of like receiving the different intelligences and knowings about like what's the real deal about how we're doing as a whole, how's humanity doing as a whole, how's the ecosystem as a whole. And so they sense into this understanding. This isn't like analytical. This is like they really have a pulse on, no matter what the marketing looks like, no matter what we're talking or whatever, they have a way of checking into this is how it's really going. And they do that through their intelligences to feel in. So this is the most open energetic blueprint, and it's open by design. They're not missing anything because their design is such to be able to sense and to check into all of what's up within the spark as it's fragmented and manifested through us as life. So juicy. So just like we learn about our energetic blueprints, what it really means for us and how the energy is really living through us, that really helps us to understand our place and our purpose, which is, I think, is really important at a time that is so much change that we are experiencing as an evolutionary cycle for humanity, as an evolutionary cycle for our entire ecosystem, right? But this is also an opportunity for us to decondition from power over dynamics and the legacy, the thousands of year old in the making legacy. They can kind of make this into a power over, this type is more important than that type because of positioning to the spark, or because they get the information from the spark. What if they don't share it? What if it just kind of like it stays in, within certain access, and it's not accessible to everyone. Wow, what does that feel like for generators and manifesting generators? So this is so not, this is an over exaggeration of, this is so not about a structure, a power over structure. One is over the other, or because there's a higher percentage of the generators and the manifesting generators, they're the ones, or because the manifestors are closest to the spark and are and have access to the manifesto for us, that puts them in a certain place, or oh, because the reflectors are the 1%, they're the ones, or oh, it's the projectors because they have this amazing insight. And that may feel like a dominating leadership style or something. Like, none of that stuff, all of that stuff is legacy, a layover from different ideas about us being together. But the idea of the spark is generative. The idea of the spark and our connection to the spark is that each of us, each energetic blueprint serves a vital purpose. And it's when those purposes come together that we can realize the intention of the spark and the spark within us. So as a part of our deconditioning, so these energetic blueprints, they're really defined by what is core to our energetic blueprint. So we have these energy centers within us. This system focuses on 9. I think that there's more unlocking and more discovery to come, because there are other understandings about there being more chakra centers. And so if there are more chakra centers, that could mean more of an understanding about the existing ones that we know about. There could be other ones that we don't know about, who knows? But this is evolving, and it is based on energy centers. And it's not that one energy center is more than the other. It's a body of energy centers that even if we don't have, if a particular energy center isn't core to who we are, we experience the realm of energy centers through each other and through our connections with each other. And so this just lets you know what is home for you, which is why we use one of the reasons why we use the words energetic blueprint, to help you to understand you and your relatedness to me, to yourself, to others, and to the world. So when we look at the energetic blueprints, I just want to say this as an example. So the manifestors, well, the manifestors that have the communication role, guess what energy center is defined for them? It's the throat chakra, of course, right? And they don't have the definition in the energy center, although they may have different connections to it, which is that life source, which is so much the sacral energy of the manifesting generator and the generators. And when we think about reflectors, they don't have any of the definition in the energy centers. They may have different energy centers where they have more understanding than others, but they're not defined, and that's by definition for that blueprint, because their purpose, again, is to experience the whole of humanity, experience the whole energy, to be able to reflect back, here's how we're doing with evolving the shadows of this. Here's how we're doing with our right relationship and respect with one another and our respect with nature. Here's how we're doing. And they reflect that back. So for that purpose, they don't have the definition that the other energetic blueprints have, you see? And so they're all necessary and with beautiful purposes to unlock, to discover, and to understand how does this energetic blueprint work through me, and what do I notice because of my lived experiences and where I am in the world, like what's really up for me. And so those are great ways to check into your purpose from the energetic blueprint as provided through the transmission of human design. just keep in mind, Purpose Peep, that we're all evolving. We're all evolving. We're moving through different levels of awareness, that we even have an energetic blueprint, that we even have ways of naming energy. We're moving from even having the conversation and the wide conversation to understand the difference between when our energy is in flow and when it's not. And so here's something else, another perspective to add to that says, hey, it's not just energy, but like I have a unique contribution to energy that works a certain way, that unlocks a certain way, and to have an experience with that, and to untether us from ideas of the past, whether they were for us ideas of the past that allowed us to survive through different stages of our development as people, or even some of the more nefarious experiences around power over dynamics. So these things are shifting, and they're shifting through our awareness. So human design allows you to have a deepening awareness with this, and allows you to have the agency of your experience with all of this. And so we end up doing this inner work and this inner understanding and this interrelatedness that I translate to what can be perceived as small things that can have a huge impact and help us to get unstuck and open our compassion and open our curiosities. Not just about, oh, this is my type, but wow, what's the range of experience here? And what might really be happening here in my different life experiences. So it's just really juicy, and I think a great way to expand our compassion, our self-compassion, and our compassions with. So we have some helpers that help us with our deconditioning, our conditioning, our understanding. And these are the helpers that kind of help us to stay with it. Because for some of us, taking this in and also allowing us to be contemplative and reflective about, like, what does this mean for me? What part of my identity, what parts of my identity are connected to an older story? And how do I feel about that identity in a newer and evolving story? Like, these are really tender spots. And so our purpose reps are things that, ways of being that feel like when we are engaging in these ways of being as reps, they kind of help to build our capacity to be present to this time and, what's up for it without blowing ourselves up or other people. Not to use violent language, but you know what I mean. But like, being able to have care with ourselves and with others, and to stay in an open and learning mindset as we unlock ourselves and others. So within the app, the Unlock Your Keys app that I developed, there is a program called Unlocking as a Practice, where we unlock this. We unlock the human blueprint from human design, and we couple that with the Path to Purpose journey with Gene Keys. So the initial modules for this experience are open. So that means when you download the app, you have access to the modules. You will have access when you engage in the program to track your purpose reps. And this is really important, because one of the things that we know is what we put our attention on is what we are bringing into reality. So tracking where you are in terms of like your rest purpose rep. Did you get invitations to rest? And did you take them? Or did you keep going? And if you are experiencing burnout because you didn't take the nudge, how about next time you will? Because you're bringing your awareness to how life is really supporting you in your journey of awareness that can lead to all sorts of purpose adventures during your time here. And everything isn't an adventure. Some things are difficult. And so we add grieving as one. So often, as a purpose rep, so often we hear, let go to let come. But do we get curious about that middle passage between the two? Where we're grieving what we're letting go of. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes when you think about the different understandings, we can find parts of our identity, parts of things that were really meaningful for us that we have to let go in order to grab a hold of what we're evolving to. And so we really want to honor that, as well as how are you doing with your purpose reps of accepting life as a purpose partner and a coach? This one came up when I was thinking and holding the intention of, I really want to shorten the time between what I call rear view mirror wisdom. So you catch the wisdom, but you catch it through the rear view mirror. So that is wonderful when that happens, because that's a level of awareness. But I really wanted to have more flow with life. So how am I doing with recognizing when life is tapping me on the shoulder and inviting me to stretch beyond my comfort zone, allowing me to have different life experiences that really allow me to deepen with some things that are coming into my awareness or things that I'm curious about. So you can track these reps within the Purpose app. Once you purchase or you download the program. Some programs are free, some programs you purchase, and some are membership. So Purpose people, this really speaks to you. Unlocking your spark with human design and gene keys. Super! If you do not have your human design chart yet, please go to my website using the super easy link bit.ly/HD all caps and GK, again all caps, and you'll be able to download your chart. You do need to know your date of birth, the time of your birth, and location to get an accurate human design chart, which will reveal your energetic blueprint. Take your human design chart and go on over to the Unlock Your Keys app, which is available in a desktop version as well as through Google app. The Google app. That's also available, super easy. Unlock Your Keys app, which is also a bit.ly link. The first module, module 1, is open. There won't be a lock on that module because that is for you to take your chart and to begin your adventure. That is my gift to you. So take this experience and take module 1 and go for it. And see what unlocks for you when you begin to live through the adventure, the understanding of your energetic blueprint and your relatedness to the spark of all that is. This is my gift to you for you to unlock your sparked life. Until next time, Purpose Peep, I am Dena Wiggins. I am for your purpose and your flourishing and the flourishing of us all. See you next time.